Choo, 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 choo. Welcome back to the Dino Brothers podcast. My main man, Deuce Deuce, making a return, season 2. Your host, Joe Boogie. We at it again. What do you got to say, bro?
Not much, man. It's been a while since we've seen NBA basketball, but now that the preseason has started, we finally get to see our teams going at it.
Man, I'm so excited right now. Basketball is just coursing through my veins. It's time. But let's start off by talking about some of the changes the Raptors made over the offseason and hear your thoughts on the squad this year.
Well, the big pickup for the Raptors this year was obviously DeMarre Carroll. We're still trying to fill that void at small forward. Last year we picked up James Johnson, but I guess the coach didn't like what he was doing, so this year Masai went out and signed a quality wing defender and three-point shooter in DeMarre Carroll.
JYD 2.0. Like 3-and-D guy, big pickup. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with that move by Masai. He addressed the need in terms of someone who can just play the position, quality, get good defense, hit open shots, and just a good team guy.
Yeah, it looks like at this point we're trying to just establish a balanced lineup with defense. So we basically got rid of all our players who can't defend. We'll go over that later. But, it's good to have someone who's going to be able to lock down those big wings that have given us so much trouble, like the elite players in the league, like LeBron James, Kevin Durant. And it's good to have a lineup that has DeMar and DeMarre.
Double D. The other big pickup of the offseason was Corey Joe coming back home, getting charged up in the 6.
Uh, I get a ring and I bring it home like I'm Corey Joe. He's getting a shout out from Drake on his track.
Yeah.
It's interesting that we picked up another backup point guard. I feel like this was a little bit pandering towards Canadian nationalism, but Corey Joe is a solid backup point guard. We need someone to come up off the bench to replace Grievous Vasquez, and Corey Joe is certainly a better defender than him, so he should really help us out.
No, absolutely. I mean, he's got a ring last year. He really stepped up his role on the Spurs and, showed that he could lead their second unit. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of impact he makes on our team, what kind of, bounce he can give us off the bench. And, I mean, Masai may be just pandering to the whole Canadian nationalism thing, but I think it's a good move because Corey Joe is a solid player. And as much as, yeah, you need that one token Canadian player, may or may not be true, but I think Masai has a bigger vision in terms of, he's trying to build up the hype and say, this is Toronto, the 6, this is an exciting place for Canadians to play. We got our own thing going, Fear the North, and we'll see how that pans out over the next couple of years with, Tristan Thompson, Wiggins. Maybe we could pull off a miracle and build something special, so that'll be interesting to see.
I do feel that Corey Joe is a good player who just happens to be Canadian, so it's not like he was recruited just because he was Canadian, which is good to hear.
Exactly, and that's how I feel too. I mean, he's high upside. We did pay a good chunk of change for him, but I'm hoping that he's going to give us that spark and make an impact. So I'd grade that as like a B+ pickup. The other good value pickup was Bismack Biyombo. I mean, he was a top draft pick just a few years ago. He's known as like a defensive stalwart, and I think he's really going to help us.
Yeah, he's really going to help us at the backup center position. Certainly, he's an upgrade from Chuck Hayes and Greg Stiefel. And he's already been making some plays at the in the preseason, getting some big blocks, which is what he's known for. And I think he'll actually help JV out in practice because JV just needs like another big body to bang with, someone who can actually defend him, so he can get more comfortable in the paint.
Exactly, someone with some toughness, just bully him around a little bit. And then finally, the other good international under the radar quality value pickup is Luis Scola. How do you feel about that?
I actually really like this pickup. My mother complains about his hair, says that he needs to cut it, but other than the way he looks, Louis Skull is a great veteran. He's really going to help us out. Like Paul Pierce burned us 2 years in a row, and what's nice about him is that he's a veteran who can actually play on the floor and help you out. as well as mentor your young players. So,
No,
you know,
absolutely. I mean, talking about his hair, first off, he is a pretty greasy, greasy dude. But like you said, he's a crafty veteran. As we saw in the FIBA, he's still got it. He can turn it on. He can drop some points, get some boards, give us that spark that we need, get it done. Obviously, his defense is a bit, suspect, but he's a good quality player, so it'll be good to see what he can add to the team.
yeah, he knows his game. He plays within it. He knows his limits, but he actually took us to town in that FIBA final. So definitely looking forward to seeing him coming off the bench or something, or he could be starting. Actually, the starting power forward spot is still open.
Absolutely. So that brings me to our final. And I know I've said this quite a few times, but crafty, under the radar, latest pickup, Anthony Bennett, his homecoming as well. So there we go. We got our two Canadians. This was a steal of a pickup. I mean, like we said just earlier, it'll be interesting to see who kind of ascends at the power forward position and how the minutes are distributed. But Anthony Bennett is on the team. He's going to have an opportunity, so I'm excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, unlike Corey Joe, this one is clearly like a Team Canada pickup, but I do think it is a great pickup for what we're paying for him. 1 year veteran minimum. That's like nothing to us, right? It's definitely worth the risk. Worst case, you lose nothing. Best case, he blows up and becomes a valuable member of the team.
Exactly. I mean, we're taking a flyer on this guy, high upside. It'll be interesting to see, if Masai gives him any minutes, whether he's, trusting in the guys that he already knows or the veterans like Scola. So assuming Scola and Patterson, what kind of small ball lineup we roll out. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets the minutes he really needs to develop. But there you can't. This is a no lose situation. So I'm excited to see what he's got.
Yeah, he's already been throwing down some nice dunks in preseason, so hopefully he'll give us some of that.
Absolutely. I mean, you gotta take those gifts that are given to you, and he's been really hammering them home, which I like to see. So on the subtraction side, there's a few departures. So Lou Williams, six man of the year, going to the Lakers. Amir Johnson, our defensive anchor really for the past decade, is now leaving town, heading to the Celtics. Grievous Vasquez is off to the Bucks. And my man, personal favorite, Psycho T, Tyler Hansbrough is off to Charlotte. What do you think about those moves?
Well, it's pretty clear. Like Lou Williams, it was fun to have him for a year. Just cheering Lou, just coming off the bench, doing ridiculous things, scoring buckets. Uh, but bottom line, couldn't defend. So Masai got rid of him. Grievous Vasquez, he's giving us that Latino flavor, just coming off the bench with his swagger. But again, can't defend, so Masai cut him. Uh, Clearly, like Masai wants everyone on the team to be able to defend. Um, and Amir Johnson, I feel like his injuries were just sort of keeping him down. So I'm glad that he got paid, but I'm not I'm not that sad to see him go. I think the team is moving on in a different direction.
Lou! I mean, I'm going to be sad to see Lou go. I mean, everything that he did for the team last year was so exciting. Bring the six man of the year award home and just having, great storylines. Six man, two girls, like you can't go wrong with everything that he was bringing to the table. So I'm sad to see him go. He was definitely one of my favorites, but Masai is really pushing the whole team defense. You got to be a good defender, you're gone. So that was made clear, and I can't disagree with that defense first mentality. So I appreciate everything Lou did. So best of luck to him. The Amir Johnson, again, we kind of had to move on from Amir, but he's been such a solid Raptor for all these years, another fan favorite, and really, he has been the only guy who's seen a lot of different incarnations of the team. He's a solid defender. He's a team first guy. He doesn't care about padding his stats, but he does all the little things. Good defensive player, getting his little putbacks and his little tricky little shots that he'd have in the lane that were just pretty awesome. He'd just get the job done. And then Vasquez getting cut right before the Pan Am Games, just such a gutty move. He was just so disappointed, which I thought was pretty hilarious because I'm not a big time Vasquez fan. I've been frustrated with his shot selection over the past 2 seasons, but again, he embraced the city. He really helped us, give us that kick and spark off the bench and really get the team to the level that it's got to, which was a pretty exciting team. And so I appreciate the time he put in. And then Psycho T is just a guy with a motor. You know, he's doing all the dirty work. He's getting in there. He's a guy that, you love to have on your team, but you hate to play against. He's just such an annoying guy, but he's just such a G and he gets it done.
Yeah, Psycho 2 was only with us for a short time, but I still remember when he was on the Pacers, and every time the Raptors would play against him, like he's like that super annoying guy in pickup basketball who's always giving it 120%. Um, so I hope he has success in Charlotte, but the Raptors are moving on, and I feel like we're in a pretty good spot this year. Um, we've addressed a lot of our weaknesses. I don't know that we've increased our top end potential, but I think we've definitely increased our sort of floor. With a solid defensive team, like you're going to be able to just win a lot more games on consistency. I hope.
Yeah, no, I mean Lowry's back as we've seen. He's in great shape. Hopefully he's going to return to form, like he was early last season, just really driving the team, hitting his shots, distributing the ball. DeMar DeRozan is back. He's in a contract year, so I'm expecting him to play well, and I hope that his shooting percentages go up a little bit this season. Um, Damari's going to be solid in the three. My real worry is kind of like I was just saying earlier. Is going to be all right. I think our offense is going to be fine. We're going to get points in transition, just with better defense. You're going to get those turnovers, fast break points. So I think they're going to be solid on offense. Hopefully JV, you know, takes a step up this season. He signed a contract, got some security. So I'm really hoping that he's a double double guy and really is in all star contention. But my big worry is JV needs to step up his defense if we're going to be successful, right? Like Amir was critical to our defense. It might not have been something that was noticed as much, but he was crucial. So it's going to be interesting that if Patterson does start, like JV and Patterson got to play well together. So that's
Yeah,
my biggest fear.
that does make me a little bit nervous. Patterson's not really known for his lockdown D, and watching JV on defense, like he's long, but he always seems like just a little bit slow. Um, like defending the pick and roll is tough. He always, he has to avoid like stupid ticky tack fouls this year. Um, but I think the addition to Damari Carroll will actually help us, and if Kyle Lowry can stay healthy, that should really help us. Um, because if Kyle Lowry goes down, then well, this year it's better, but last year when Kyle Lowry went down, like you're relying on Grievous Vasquez and Lou Williams to give you like quality defensive minutes, which is never really a good proposition. Um, so I think it'll be better this year, honestly. I think it'll be easier to watch because Grievous won't be taking crazy shots and making stupid plays.
Exactly. Like I think we do have a lot of quality depth now. So it's going to be interesting to see what lineups Casey trots out there. He's got options. Is he going to make adjustments? As the team gels together, we see some different looks. It will be interesting to see the whole Patterson Scola, how that pans out, and then T. Ross, like how is he going to play this season? He's got a huge opportunity again, to really elevate and just show what he's got. He's gonna be counted on that 6 man role. Like we're gonna need him to score, play solid defense.
Yeah, he's been playing better in the preseason though. He had some ankle surgery, so hopefully he's back at 100%. But I heard that it was actually really bothering him last year. But if he can give us like solid defense and hit a couple of threes, um, yeah, he can definitely like that's what we're gonna need him to do. And we didn't offer him an extension, so if he doesn't do that, well, sorry, buddy. Um,
Yeah, no, he's got that chance now. Like I don't know, I'm a Ross fan. I've been rooting for him. Like I want him to play well, but he hasn't played well. He had a huge opportunity last season, kind of dropped the ball there. This is his opportunity, right? Like don't be whining on Instagram. I hope he's been working out over the off season. Just bring it, play well this season. Like that's what we all want. So I'm hoping he does elevate his game this year. And then, in addition, we got some young guns, Norman Powell and DeLon Wright. So let's see what these guys can do. Hopefully, they get a bit of an opportunity to get some minutes too. And I'm excited for this season. We got an opportunity to win the division, repeat in the East, get to 50 wins. Really, it's just I want to see how the team gels. Early in the season, there has been a lot of additions, right? So it'll be interesting to see how quickly they mesh together. But if we get into a groove, get that team defense working, then I think we have a ton of upside.
Yeah, I think we're actually a pretty deep team. Because like we said, we got Terrence Ross, Corey Joe coming off the bench, either Patterson or Scola. Like you got a lot of lineups you can play with here. Um, of quality players, quality defenders. I am worried a little bit about Casey's offensive system. Uh, like last year, it seemed like every time the game started to tighten up, we started to rely on too much ISO. So hopefully, we get some more ball movement going this year. Casey does have an entirely new staff of assistant coaches, so hopefully they're helping him out. Um, but yeah, basic like on offense, we've got to keep the ball moving. It gets really frustrating to just watch DeMar dribble the ball for 15 seconds and then take a contested mid-range jumper.
No, exactly. I mean, they gotta really like I was saying, their offense is going to be fine to start. I want to see lockdown defense as the season goes on. Get some new offensive sets, like you're saying, pass the ball, get it moving. If our perimeter players are playing well and they have to respect the three, we do have we do have some talent that can get it done. They just got to step it up. So there's a lot of exciting Raps discussions to happen over the course of the season. I'm excited and happy to have them with you. So everyone, Dino Bros, we back. Check in weekly for our podcast. We're gonna pump out a little bit of content as the season begins, and every week we're gonna be bringing a podcast online. So thank you for tuning in and supporting us. Joe Boogie out.
Deuce out.